Hey guys, Plush Bomb here today, and today I will be showing you my plush collection. So let's just get right into this, shall we? Alright, so first up, we have this alligator. Not used in many videos, but if you want, he can be in videos. So, another character that's not used very often is the M&M guy. Yep. Alright, next up is this creeper plush. This is the original one from Mario Meets Minecraft. And if you guys want me to, I'll remake that video. So, yeah, if you want me to, just post a comment. Next up is Pink Yoshi. Next up is Dry Bowser Jr. Pretty cool. Next up is Fire Mario. Next up is Larry Koopa. Next up is Minecraft Ocelot. Next up is Zelda. Next up is Spiny. Next up is this giant Sonic the Hedgehog plush. It's the backpack one. I don't really like it, so it's not used in very many videos. So just throw it over there. Next up is Wiggler. Next up is Hammer Bro. Next up is Roy Koopa. Hasn't been in many videos yet, but he will soon. Next up is this alligator I got from Louisiana. Next up is this Mario riding Black Yoshi. Next up is Wario. And sorry for the bad quality. It's just not very good. Sorry about that. Next up is this backpack Mario. Next up is Conehead Zombie. Next up is Purple Yoshi. Next up is Jalapeno, I think it's called. If I'm wrong, just post a comment saying what it is. Next up is Sunshroom. Next up is Goldie Koopa. Next up is Donkey Kong. Next up is Chain Chomp. Next up is Boom Boom. Next up is Squash. Next up is this World of Nintendo Fire Luigi. I got this at Target. Next up is Cattail, I think it's called. I don't know all the plants that well. Next up is Purple Zombie. Next up is this turtle. It's just a random turtle. Next up is the normal Sonic the Hedgehog plush that I sometimes use, but I don't really make Sonic videos. Next up is Walnut. Next up is another purple zombie. Next up is this duck. Quack. Next up is Shadow the Hedgehog. Next up is my newest plush, Red Yoshi. Next up is White Yoshi. Next up is the All-Star Toad. Next up up is Backpack Luigi. Next up is Swamp. It's pretty big. Next up is this Ender Dragon. Next up is Bonsai Bill. Okay, next up is a pretty new plush as well. This giant Mario. Pretty big. And just like it, I got a giant Luigi. Next up is Big Mama Luigi. Next, well, this isn't really a plush. It counts more as a puppet. I just want to show it anyways. This Mario puppet, pretty cool. So next up is Dr. Eggman. Also, again, pretty new plush. Next up is Pea Shooter. Next up is Normal Zombie. Next up is my old Mario, the Goldie version. Fire Luigi. And next up is Charmander. Next up is Cherry Bomb. Next up is Enderman, who originally was missing his leg because it fell off, but I fixed it. Next up is Umbreon. I got like 2 years ago at Nintendo World. Next up is Sword Kirby. Next up is Captain Toad. I made a review on him on my old channel. Next up is Nabbit. Next up is Fox McCloud. Post a comment if you want me to put him in videos. Next up is Porky Puffer. Yeah, Porky Puffer. Next up is Green Yoshi. Yeah. Next up is, can't remember his name at the moment, but it's the plant that shoots butter. Like, I don't remember. Next up is One-Up Mushroom. I have 2 of these, the other one will be seen later. Next up is, I think Fume Shroom. Again, post a comment to see if I was right or not, or if not, put his name in the comments. Next is Rover from Animal Crossing. Next up is Rosalina. Next up is Blue Toad. Next up is Cheep Cheep. Yay. And next up is Tanuki Mario. Next up is my Sene Luigi. I use him now in videos instead of my Goldie Luigi. Next up is this Boo with the Tanuki tail. Next up is Lemmy Koopa. My favorite Koopaling. Next up is this Angry Bird Space Bomb Bird. Next up is Mega Man. Next up is this brown cow from Minecraft. Next up is regular Boo. Next up is Baby DK. Again, not a plush, it's another puppet. I just want to show it. Is this pig plush. Next up is a mini keychain Luigi. I got him along with the Big Mario, Big Luigi, and then 3 other keychains, which you'll see later. Next up is Birdo. Next up is Marigold. Next up is Link. Next up is my old Bowser Jr. It's the fake one, not the center. Next up is Sunflower. Next up is Yellow Toad. Next up is the Sene Koopa. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's bean bags in there. I can't. Next up is Cowboy Zombie. Yeah. Next up is this blue Angry Bird. Next up is Waddle Dee. Yeah, I'm awesome. Next up is another Link, because I have 2. Somehow. Next up is another Goldie Mario. Next up is Luigi with the Poltergeist. Yeah. Put a comment if you want me to make a Luigi's Mansion series. Next up is this ugly cat Mario. I don't really like it. It's stupid, dumb. Next up is everybody's favorite, Waluigi. Wah! Next up is this Mew keychain, which I got at Nintendo World. Next up is Baby Luigi. Next up is this hammerhead shark. Next up is Coin Block. Tiny coin block. Next up is another creeper. I got a new one to replace the old creeper that has a hole in its foot. Next up is this Easter bunny, which was used in a video in my old channel. Don't check that out. It's really bad. It doesn't live up to the standards. Next up is Goomba. Yay. Next up is my first dry bones. Kind of big. It was used in Bowser's Master Plan, again on my old channel. It was pretty good, I thought, anyways. Next up is Orange Yoshi. Next up is my other 1-Up mushroom. Told you I had 2. There's 2 of them, yeah. Just put them over there. Next up is my old Toad, my Goldie Toad. His jacket is somewhere. I know I have it. It's probably in a bin somewhere with props. Next up is Golden Tanuki Mario. I think I got him at Walmart or Target. I don't remember. Next up is Pikachu. So big. Not really. Next up is Yellow Yoshi. Kind of old. Next up is Bullet Bill. Here's another one of those puppets that I just wanted to show. Peach puppet. And here is my old Luigi, which is the Goldie Luigi. Next up is my first Yoshi plush, a giant green Yoshi. Yeah. Next up is a Minecraft bat. It's part 1 of the plush collection, so stay tuned for part 2.